Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. Welcome back. I hope that you have been feeling better than I have. I've got pneumonia and COVID. My mother has COVID really bad, and we've had a number of other things going on this week that have added to my stress. So I thought it would be apropos this week to talk about the anxiety that is real from missing more than a couple of days of work in a row. Because like I want to be working, I want to be freaking at work, and I can't. And the anxiety of like, oh god, am I gonna lose my job? What what do they think? All these things. And I think I've built up enough credibility that I'll be fine. But the anxiety is real, and so I wrote a an article. It's season 3, episode 34, but it's navigating job anxiety while managing a lingering illness. And there's 8 practical tips for coping. So, number 1 is to communicate openly and proactively. Based on my experience, as long as you stay out in front of it and you communicate well with your superiors or leadership, they're usually pretty chill about things. It's when you don't communicate that, or you get behind, they've got to call you to figure out what's going on, then it can turn into a bad situation. So communicate, leave the lines of communication open. Number 2 is explore flexible work arrangements. So if you do something that doesn't allow for a remote type work, or even a hybrid model, come up with something that like a modified work schedule that perhaps you could put in, as many hours as you've got energy to put in, or maybe there's something else you can do that's out of your normal job description, but just something to show that you're still willing and care about your job. Number 3, and I hesitated to even put this in, this is more for people with disabilities, but know your rights. None of us obviously want to get legal with our employers, but if you're disabled or have some form of disability, knowing your rights is really important. And in some countries, there's a lot of protection for people with disabilities when it comes to work and having to miss work, etc. Number 4 is to prioritize self-care and stress management. Taking care of your mental and physical health will help you manage the symptoms of your illness more effectively and reduce the overall anxiety you're feeling about your job. So it's easy to lose sight of getting the rest that we need, taking the doctor's suggestions, taking the awful medicine that you get sometimes. Number 5 is to build a support network. And because isolation can just perpetuate our anxiety about missing work. And it makes it even more difficult to bear. Number 6, develop a contingency plan. You don't have to actively look for a new job, but knowing that you have other options can give you a more peaceful perspective of the situation. Number 7, focus on what you can control. We can wash our hands, we can stay away from people that are sick, We can choose to not go into work to avoid getting other people sick. Common sense type things. But to a large degree, we can't control getting sick. What we can control is how we respond to it and how we act in the face of adversity. You really get to know who your friends are when you're sick. And by the way, to all my friends, you guys are amazing. Thank you for all the texts and the calls. You guys just warm my heart. And number 8 is similar to an earlier one, but build a support system. Lean on your support system, family, friends, colleagues. Having someone to talk to about your fears can reduce the burden of anxiety. And some, I would go as far as to say, talking to a therapist or a counselor isn't a bad idea, especially if your work offers that sort of thing and there's a reasonable waiting period to get into it. And fear of losing your job because of a chronic illness is deeply troubling, and even if it's not warranted, if you give a crap about your job, you're gonna be stressed about missing work, and that's not good for healing and for getting back on track and getting back to work as soon as possible. So I hope some of those things helped. Look for the article this weekend on Sunday. I'm going to make a few modifications to it and expound upon it a little bit. Today you just got the condensed version, but I'll get that done and look for it on Sunday. It'll be season 3, episode 34. Thanks for your support, you guys. Have a great week. Bye.